T.J. Dillashaw. So you got to make sure that you understand the order of events here, all right? USADA has been with the UFC since roughly 2014. And USADA has always conducted, when a guy gets flagged, they've always conducted that the same way, which is a boilerplate statement, and you just insert the name. Hey, John Doe, right? Insert name here, has tested positive. We'll get due diligence. We'll go through the process. And in the meanwhile, they're on a temporary suspension. Okay, great. Something along those lines. Well, what happened recently towards the end of 2018 is 4 athletes did their due diligence, and all 4 athletes were cleared. Josh Barnett, Anderson Silva, Little Nog, Junior Dos Santos, one after the next, after the next, after the next. So what USADA did is they go, okay, hold on. We want to redo our process. Instead of coming out and giving the guy's name and letting him get drugged down in the internet and headlines that will never go away, even when he's cleared, losing sponsorship, losing merit and faith with fans. What we're going to do is we're privately going to contact the guy. We're going to privately keep him out of competition. And then we're going to conduct the due diligence. We're going to reach a resolution on this, and then and only then will we come out with the name. Okay, great. The other side of the way that USADA works is they will honor that until you don't. If you come out and you make a statement, you break down that wall, they will then come out with their own statement, which means whether that's to back you up, whether that's to go, yeah, he's telling the truth, whether it's to refute one of your points. But if you speak first, then they'll go ahead and speak. Okay, great. Good policy. Great change. Reason that's relevant is T.J. Dillashaw comes out yesterday. Let me apologize. I guess it'd be Wednesday. 2 days ago, T.J. Dillashaw comes out on a social media post on Instagram. He says, hey guys, listen, I got flagged on an USADA test. I'm out for a year. And by the way, I'm relinquishing my belt. In the meanwhile, I'll work with my team and we'll try to figure out what happened here. Okay. So USADA comes out on the back of that and goes, yeah, everything he said, we co-sign it. No disagreements, the end. The reason I bring that timeline up for you guys is we really should have been able to predict something had happened with either Henry or TJ. The reason I say that is being armed with the information of the way they're going to conduct themselves, which is to take an athlete out of competition and conduct the test and not drag his name through anything. We really should have known, with all of the delays and the quietness that was surrounding Henry and TJ. And I don't mean to bring Henry into this, other than Henry is involved because he and TJ were scheduled to do a rematch. And not only a rematch, a mega rematch for TJ's belt, giving Henry an opportunity to become champ. Right? Double champ, I should say. Conor actually has trademarked the term champ. So I should say double champ. Big deal. A lot of people that wanted to see it. Some controversy around the first fight, of which did record numbers debuting on ESPN Plus. I mean, this was a big deal. A lot of people were very interested in that. And there was major talk, and all of a sudden it went quiet. And in hindsight, we should have known. We should have speculated. We should have guessed something was going on here. Okay, great. Well, we've got the final shoe is dropped. We've got the answer. It was TJ. Now, I have to tell you this. The big question, and really the only thing that is missing from this entire story, and you can put this thing to rest, TJ is going to sit 12 months, retroactive to January 18th. Everything we need to know. But inquiring minds are going to wonder, by the way, what did you test positive for? What was the actual substance? So with the only piece that's missing, I'm going to attempt to answer that question. So here's one of the ways that this works. It is for sure on your first fail, 2 years. It is for sure on your second fail, 4 years. And on your third strike, you're out. You are no longer eligible to come back into the pool. So when TJ was given 12, now I got to arm you with this. They are more than aware that they have some very ridiculous things on their banned list. Some absolutely silly and ridiculous things that should not be there. They are not willing to take them off. But what they are willing to do is when you get hit for one of those silly things is to go, okay, listen, I know we said it's going to be a minimum of 2 years. 2 years. Let's go ahead and just cut that in half. This is one of those silly things. Let's reduce it. So we're armed with a piece of evidence because TJ's was reduced to 12 months that perhaps it was one of these silly things. The other side of the coin, and I tend to think that it was. I also will tell you the way that most of these supplements work, bigger, stronger, faster, in that order, which is relevant because TJ actually went down a weight class. So I can tell you, he wasn't taking the good stuff. He wasn't taking some of the dirty, filthy, and the anabolics and some of the things like this because he actually got smaller. I am deducing that, but this is my level of thought. So I kind of want to come out and tell you guys, hey, he was getting smaller. He went down a weight. He got hit with something. It could have been something as silly as a diuretic. And why a diuretic could be banned, and no, I'm not saying it is for sure a diuretic. I'm just saying something along these lines. It would also come in like that. That would be one where you're going, hey, why the hell is that banned? Either way, it is. And that would also warrant something along a 12-month suspension. And don't forget, he wasn't stripped. He was also given the opportunity to relinquish his title. And I realize we're largely playing a game of semantics. But you get stripped when somebody's mad at you. You were given the opportunity to relinquish when people aren't mad at you. So I would predict for you that the people that are on the side of let's not prejudge T.J. Dillashaw, let's not do a knee-jerk reaction, let's wait for everything to come out. I will predict for you that the people that take that stance end up looking pretty good by the time this thing is all said and done. I only have one thing working against me. And working against me is generally when it is a very light or silly substance. A caffeine, an Advil, a diuretic, something that is not an anabolic, an agent, a performance enhancer of any kind, and is not illegal by any measure of the law. Generally, an athlete would get in front of that thing and tell you exactly what it is, and over the counter. Hey, I was taking this from GNC, and it looks like it's got something else in it, and I didn't check the label, or it was contaminated. Generally, an athlete would get ahead of that. TJ put out the statement to get ahead of the story, but left that part out. That's the only thing holding me up from telling you this is something silly. I still will predict for you that it comes out to be something silly. I'm going to make that prediction, but the only thing that gives me a little bit of pause is if it was something light and I was to put myself in his shoes, and this is the way you're supposed to lead your entire life, treat others the way you want to be treated. If I was in his shoes and I think I would come out and say, hey, by the way, before you guys get too upset, and then fill in the blank there. So let's see how all that goes. But either way, no need to kick TJ Dillashaw. He got his punishment. He got in front of it. He dealt with it. He's the one that revealed it. He didn't hide under a rock. He did everything in that situation as well as you could do it. So I feel that we can move on. So let's.